So I'm going to try and build Jonathan Lai of Andreessen Horowitz's intelligent space as quickly as I can. He's a big AI advocate, of course, and I saw that he has jonlai.co as his current home, link in bio, which has all his stuff. But for a man who is deeply in AI, I think we can give him something a lot better than this. So I'm going to take this into Claylight and say, hi, I'm Jon Lai. Here is my site. Pull all the projects into my space. I will also add the link to him, Andreessen Horowitz. Here is my role at a16z, and I will pull in his LinkedIn. Organize me a great space to showcase everything I do. Okay, cool. So the AI will start to look that up. Again, if you're not familiar with our Claylight CMS, here's the chat, which allows you to build your intelligent space of intention. You just tell it what you want, and it will start to build the space. Here is where you will see the space come to life in terms of just the backend. So we'll be able to see all the modules it creates, and we'll be able to edit here. And on the right, we have the preview of the space. So it's been great to meet you, Jon. Let me research all 3 sources at once and pull everything together. While it does that, we can look at design. So if I just go back to Jon's website, it seems like he has a purple, not much design here, but let's see what we can do there. So, we can just think about what could be a vibe he might like. Something maybe like this. Kind of fits with what I saw. And again, I can come in here and remix it a little bit, play around. I can play with the text. Lots of options here. Let's just go with something bold. And I can kind of look at the layout a little bit and say, okay, do I want this to be moving constant, snap, distance between the cards? And again, you can just design this. And we're going to be adding world scenes. You can actually have a 3D environment in the background that eventually you'll even be able to enter. You can add all sorts of effects to the space as well. So what it's doing now, it's finding the stuff and it's building each module. So intelligent space is made up of multiple different modules. And we've done that because the whole idea is that it should be able to be read by a human, but also by an agent. So this is human to human to human, human to agent, agent to agent. So, okay, brought in the space. We can see it's built in one pass, full bio, writing and podcast, portfolio and investments. I've also noticed your Jon Lai site has a few more things, like a video live stream section, a 10-cent gaming strategy website. Want me to pull those in too? I'll say yes. Pull those all in. Right now, the system is actually kind of choosing the initial things to pull in. We're debating whether we just make it pull everything in from one go. But anyway, I've just said, yes, go ahead and pull that in. So we have his profile, his socials here that have come up, press section, a bunch of his press, see it all here. You can kind of choose how you want that to show up, table and grid and links and so on. So you can kind of just play around here in the editor, just do a list for now. It's got some projects that have come in, which are his investments, looks like, so different investments. Again, here I can push it to bring in all those imagery, but this, projects can be, you can have many projects. This could just be all the investments. So, you could have project modules for anything and multiple project modules. And it's brought in a few links to things, speedrun, games, all sorts of things here. Video, it's now embedded automatically, his live streaming stuff. And one of the things is we've seen with things like Linktree and these types of websites that have links is the click-through rate dramatically goes down, whereas in here, I can view everything from multiple platforms in one place. And that is really, really powerful because you can essentially, you don't need to leave. It's one space and you're across SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, a blog, all in one. That's something that breaks the whole walled garden theory as well, which we love. So it's extracted, but it's saying, I can't scrape those sub pages. Now I need 2 answers. Tencent's game strategy. What is exactly Web3 game? What's the URL? YouTube playlist, Spotify, and so on. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to go back to his site. Just want to pull anything that it's not been able to find. Let's just go to his, do we have, it's a very confusing site, to be honest. These are all just newsletters. Don't see his YouTube here or his Spotify, Twitter, LinkedIn. Okay, let's not even bother with that. Let's just say find some more YouTube or music embeds based on a search. Also pull in a gallery of my images and create a story module about me and my background using any interesting info. Also create a way for founders to send me their pitch deck and a way for people to buy me a coffee. Now that's a lot. I'm really going to push it here. And you can see, instead of saying, I want to create a form and saying, I want to add a payment method for people to tip me, you just tell it the intention, and it will try to understand that intention and add the right functionality. So it will know if you want people to send you a pitch deck, that's a form, and it needs to have an upload button, and needs to have, a way to choose the category of what startup you have, and so on. So it will also try to do it based on his voice and what it's learned about him. Let that kind of work. We'll see what it adds. And while it's doing that, let's just build the agent. So this is the intelligence section. This is all about the AI in the environment, where it's going to learn everything, and you just talk to it. It surfaces exactly what you need. So I'm going to just call this John. I'll assume the agent is him, i.e. first person. So we'll just add a greeting like that. First person, third person. This is like, do I want to speak as John, or do I want to speak as John's assistant? You can kind of choose that. Analyzing what voice he may have based on what it now knows about him. Authoritative, bold, warm, direct, playful. So that's what it's suggesting. He could clone his voice as well, a voice. But this is never say. Yeah, so never say. This is what you just do not want your AI to say. Even though it's done in a very smart way, where we call it PLM. So it's like a personal language model. It's really trained only on what information you give it. And here's like the brain, where you could just directly add tons of stuff, add agents within this. The whole idea is this becomes a space where all your agents get added. Goals, voice. I mean, you could input the entire a16z portfolio entity in here, and then the AI will know that and surface it when people speak to it. Here's this thing. So, okay, it's done some stuff. Let's see what it's done a lot. Okay, let's go look. So it's embedded the story module here, which is like from Morgan Stanley to Riot Games to a16z, created a whole story around him. I can choose the design, whatever that is. That's cool. It's added, tags. And this stuff looks like it's pulled in a little bit more on the press side from videos. It's brought in the same one there. That's good. It's created a form to send a pitch. Send me your pitch. What are you building? So on. It's created a tip jar, buy John a coffee, a nice sake, fuel the thesis. I love sake. It's my favorite drink, actually. So it's something we have in common. And then it will tell you essentially what it's missing. So here it said, I need your playlist URL. What's the Web3 Games playlist link? So if it can't find something, it will just ask you. Tencent's gaming strategy. Is this a PDF doc for sale or more for a free tweet storm? If paid, what's the price and where do people buy? So it will engage with you, and you can talk about what you want the tone of your AI to be, all sorts of stuff, basically. Again, here it's not letting me publish because it's saying I need to add a music URL. I'm just going to delete that because I don't know what his music URL is. We could look quickly. Let's just do it. So we can say Jon Lai Spotify, because it's nice to see how this embeds. Why gaming is becoming mainstream. Let's pull that in. This, give it to the AI. You can see here I can choose a design. It's quite nice. Again, everything gets embedded in a really seamless way. So, okay, it's added it. There we go. And this will be here. You can just listen to it directly in here. We're going to publish, space published. Jonathan Lai's space. You've got his bio. You've got his story, his founder story, all his writing and podcasts in one place. His video embedded. I just watch it here, and I don't need to leave. I can jump into this one. His investments. While we look at this, I'm going to say pull in imagery to the project of investments. I'm very OCD. I like to see imagery. His photos, a podcast, again, just embedded. This is what we really like, is jumping between platforms in one space. Shop, and nothing's populated there, so we could work on that later. Send me your pitch as a form. Buy John a coffee, and so on. And now I have the agent, so I can be like, hi, John, tell me about yourself. And what we're building now that's crazy is in this chat, it will populate and surface the modules that you need. So if I want to essentially, I want to pitch to you, where do I do that? Okay, so what will happen is the form will just pop up in the space in a really beautiful design. You just click the form and you do that. If it was a shop, right now it's just telling me I have to reach out. But what we're building, which will be live next week, is that you will just have this module pop up in chat. That's a feature that's coming. I've now just spoken to his AI, and it says, hi, John, tell me about, so he can see all of this in the back end. So all the conversations the AI is having on the front end will populate in the back. And also, if I add something here, the form will just come to the back as well as to his email. So I'll just be like, actually, I don't want to do this because it's going to go directly to his email. But I would send the pitch in, and it will show up all here in the back end. So it becomes a smart inbox. So what you have is website, link in bio, smart inbox, your own AI agent, all in one. And again, it's searching, it's found some imagery here for the projects, and I can just keep adding more and more and more. And here we go. Great. More and more info. This space gets smart. I can tell it stories about myself. I could tell it what my favorite restaurant is, and then it will just be very smart when it speaks to people, and it will just give everyone what they need to see based on who they are. So yeah, that was a very raw video of me building it. It's been fine, 10 to 15 minutes, and we've built something pretty solid that has an agent that knows who you are and will surface to people all your stuff in one place. And you just from here, it's infinite what you could do. And we're doing a lot of crazy stuff that's going to come out. This is like the raw MVP. So I hope you like it, and any feedback will be much welcomed.